The church bells start at 8 a.m. My head starts round at 9. I swear the Lord's forgiveness smells a lot like turpentine. I stumble through the kitchen light, still wearing last night's sin. Coffee thick as penance pours, I drink and start again. The mirror says I'm 50, though my license swears I'm less. Each wrinkle's just a sermon I refuse to confess. The Bible on the counter's open to the prodigal. I laugh and say I'll join you, son, but first I need one more call. There's lipstick on the glassware, perfume in the sheets, and guilt wears Sunday finest, walking barefoot through the streets. The preacher talks of water, but my faith comes amber brown. And every time I'm saved, I pour salvation down. Whiskey stains on Sunday, proof that grace gets muddy. I drink, I pray, I lose my way, but heaven loves the bloody. Whiskey stains on Sunday, cross the line, repent on Monday. Every sin's a tune I play. Whiskey stains on Sunday.
The choir sings Amazing Grace while I hum Whiskey River. Two different hymns, same trembling hands, same hope that won't deliver. My mama calls from Baton Rouge, says, boy, you're still God's plan. I say if he don't like my drinking, he can pour another man.
The woman I once promised to comes by to drop the mail. She says you still write fine songs, but you don't look too well. I tell her that I'm working on a record of regret. She says, call me when you're sober. I say, darling, not yet. At dusk the tavern opens like a gospel gone astray, and every drunk's an altar boy who never learned to stay. I raise my glass to Jesus with the band behind my side. Say if faith is just another round, let's drink until we're dry. Whiskey stains on Sunday, proof that grace gets muddy. I drink, I pray, I lose my way, but heaven loves the bloody. Whiskey stains on Sunday, cross the line, repent on Monday. Every sin's a tune I play. Whiskey stains on Sunday.
Maybe faith's a flask half filled, maybe peace is barely spilled. Maybe angels walk the floor, mopping up what we ignore. If I wake to sunlight clean, let the past stay in between, and let forgiveness smell of right. At least I'll know I tried. Whiskey stains on Sunday.
Where saints and sinners sway, the choir hums my disarray. Whiskey stains on Sunday, heaven's got a bar today, and God don't turn away when faith is poured this way. Whiskey stains on Sunday. She caught fireflies in mason jars behind her grandpa's shed. Said each one's a lonely prayer that found a home instead. I told her I was restless. She said, so are stars at dawn. Then she kissed me through the thunder and the power flicked back on. That summer rode like thunder clouds across a hungry sky. Her laughter turned to lightning bolts that burned behind my eyes. We swore we'd leave this county once the wheat was finally grown. But fate's a jealous weatherman, it struck before we'd known. One night the storm came louder than the radio could drown. The creek rose high, the barn roof ripped, the thunder took the town. She ran out with that mason jar to save the light she caught. I chased her through the sideways rain, then everything just stopped. Morning came in silence where her shadow used to be. The jar was cracked, but still half lit beside the fallen tree. Now every time it storms, I drive out to that scar and set it on her windowsill, lightning in a lonesome jar. Lightning in a lonesome jar glows the way lost lovers are. Flicker faint but travel far, like a prayer with no guitar. Lightning in a lonesome jar keeps me talking to the stars. Says she's close though heaven's far. Lightning in a lonesome jar. Years have rolled like freight trains past this single stoplight town. I run the feed mill mornings now, keep my head down. But some nights when the sirens wail and power lines hum blue, I swear I see her barefoot ghost dance in the dew. I set another jar out there each July's last storm. Let God decide which memories He wants to keep warm. I write her name on masking tape, dated by the hour, and thank her for reminding me love's a borrowed power. Lightning in a lonesome jar glows the way lost lovers are. Flicker faint but travel far, like a prayer with no guitar. Lightning in a lonesome jar keeps me talking to the stars. Says she's close though heaven's far. Lightning in a lonesome jar. If grace can strike and fade that fast, then maybe grief is built to last. And maybe every jar of glass just holds a chance to heal. So when the thunder starts to roll, I open up my porch and soul. Let lightning make this sinner whole the way her love made real. Lightning in a lonesome jar glows the wounds and heals the scars. She's my muse, my midnight spar, my heaven in a single jar. Lightning in a lonesome jar still hums on the pickup's bar. I drive toward her northern star. These boots ain't mine, they're my brother's from the war. He left them by the fireplace the day he swore he'd ride once more. Mama said don't wear those, they still remember mud and blood. But when you're broken out of luck, remembrance feels like love. So I laced them up one winter night and took the freight to town, playing songs for tips and supper in a bar that's halfway down. Each stomp upon the hardwood rang like rifles in my chest. But music's just a different march for men who can't find rest. The barkeep said you play like you've seen the edge of truth. I said that's 'cause every step I take belongs to borrowed boots. He nodded like confession was a coin that buys a meal, and poured me something aged enough to make the memory real. I sang till dawn for ghosts and pay, till sunlight kissed the rim of two old boots still holding fast to what was left of him. Borrowed boots, borrowed time, walking straight but not in line. Echoes in the healing rhyme, still marching toward the sign. Borrowed boots, borrowed time, carry what ain't yours to find. Every scuff a borrowed crime. Borrowed boots, borrowed time. The letter stopped that April. The mailman bowed his head, said, son, your brother's resting now and Poppy's painted red. I wore his boots that funeral day, though mama begged me not. Said, boy, don't stain what's sacred, but they'd already forgot. When taps rang through the hollow air, I felt his heel shift mine, like he was walking with me, steady down the line. Now years have done their damage, the souls are knitted through, but I still wear them Sundays just to keep him passing to. Last week a boy from down the road came asking for a song, said I lost my dad in overseas, but I still try to stay strong. I told him, son, these boots right here, take them, they ain't mine. He cried, said, sir, they'll never fit. I said, faith ain't by design. He left with shoulders taller than the mountains he'll one day climb. And I walked home barefoot smiling, first time in a long time. Borrowed boots, borrowed time, walking straight but not in line. Echoes in the healing rhyme, still marching toward the sign. Borrowed boots, borrowed time, carry what ain't yours to find. Every scuff a borrowed crime. Borrowed boots, borrowed time. Some men get their heaven new, some inherit, some make do. Some lace up a life or two and keep them clean with tears. If I go before my rhyme, lay these boots on sacred line, let some drifter make them shine and walk for me in years. Borrowed boots, borrowed time, warm but still sublime, dust to dust yet love defined. Borrowed boots, borrowed time, every step still keeps the climb, every road still draws a sign. My brother's soul, my borrowed spine. Borrowed boots, borrowed time. The canyon winds are quiet at night, low and cracked with age. It sings of men who rode too far to earn their final wage. I found his saddle by the stream, his hat still on the stone. A silver spur lay half buried, the rest was bones and bone. They say he was a drifter once, a gun hand out of time. He rode for whiskey wages and for women past their prime. But out here truth gets weathered till it's more legend than name, and the stars forget distinctions between outlaw and the same. I built a cross from cedar fence and whispered what I knew. He'd saved a kid in Abilene, once fought a man for truth. He never shot the lawless down, but lawless all the same. And heaven loves the half-redeemed, it carves them just the same. I found a photo in his coat, a bride in summer's frame. Her dress was plain, her smile wild, her vow half out of flame. On the back it read, "Come home when dust becomes your friend." But men like him don't recognize where the roads can end. Silver spur requiem, ride the wind, forgive the hymn, echo low where prayers grow dim. Silver spur requiem, dust to saddle, ghost to limb. Let the desert bury him, God still hums a requiem. Silver spur requiem. The marshal came at sunrise with a wanted poster torn. Said that's old Jesse Harlan, worth more dead than born. I handed him the spur and said, "You'll find him past the bend." But justice don't need witnesses when mercy wants to end. He tipped his hat and muttered low, "The desert knows its kind," and rode away while tumbleweeds erased his trailing line. I stayed a while beside that grave, the cross I'd hammered thin, and sang a song with no refrain, just lost where hope had been. By noon the vultures circled slow like black notes on a stave, and I thought of every sin I dodged by luck and by the grave. I buried my reflection in that water dark as gin, and saw his face inside my own same soul, same worn out skin. So I left my own spurs hanging there, a pair for ghosts to rhyme, and whispered, "Brother outlaw, ride, I'll catch you down the line." Then I turned my back on daylight, the canyon still a hymn, and heard the echoes fade away in silver requiem. Silver spur requiem, ride the wind, forgive the hymn, echo low where prayers grow dim. Silver spur requiem, dust to saddle, ghost to limb. Let the desert bury him, God still hums a requiem. Silver spur requiem. If heaven's gate is rusted steel and angels ride on faith and wheels and save a trail, don't break the seal, I'm coming when I'm due. The West don't care for saints or sin, it folds them both beneath the wind, and every grave still hums within a cowboy's last adieu. Silver spur requiem, sing it soft, don't let it in, for every man who could have been. Silver spur requiem, dust to saddle, ghost to limb. let forgiveness ride with him till thunder hums again. Silver Spur, Requiem. The chapel lights were flickering like oil lamps in the rain. She stood there in her mama's dress, hemline with Texas stain. The preacher coughed and muttered, "Girl, you sure this vow is right?" She smiled and said, "I'm tired of running, let's get married tonight."
Her groom was late, his Chevy stalled somewhere past county line. The thunder grumbled like a drunk who'd sworn off holy wine. The guests all left by candlelight, the preacher locked the doors, but she stayed there beside the cross, her tears upon the floor.
She whispered, "Lord, if he don't come, just make this night my veil." And outside lightning kissed the steeple like a ghostly wedding tale. By morning they had found her still, her hand clutching the lace, and that dress as white as unmarked snow had moonlight on its face.
Papers called it tragedy, the town called it divine. And every spring they say she walks the border of the pines. Men have seen her on the highway, barefoot, candle bright. The bride who never made it home, the bride in bootleg white. Lacing lightning wrong and right, dancing where the dusk ignites, a vow that outlived night. Bride in bootleg white, whisper through the church's blight, pray the groom still finds your light. Bride in bootleg white. I saw her once near Midland, by the station out of town. She asked if I'd seen Jimmy Dale. I said, "Ma'am, he's underground." She smiled so sweet it hurt to breathe, said that love's still on the way, and vanished like a dust storm does when dawn begins to pray. Told the barkeep later on, he said, "Boy, that ain't new. She's been seen for 30 years, same dress, same I do." And sure enough, that midnight came a storm that split the plains, and thunder hummed a wedding march in minor chord refrains. Day by the county bridge, the preacher found a ring wrapped in lace and candle wax, a holy haunting thing. He took it to the chapel, placed it on the cross's base, and said the dead still honor vows the living can embrace. Now every time the lightning falls, the steeple glows like glass, and travelers swear they hear her voice along the chapel recognize a vow that outlived night. Bright and bootleg white, whisper through the church's blight. Pray the groom still finds your light. Bright and bootleg white.
If love outlives a wedding day and vows can bloom in clay, then maybe death just stops to stay where hope refused to fade. Her heart became a lantern dim, her tears the chapel's hymn, and mercy married sin, till heaven called her name again.
Bright and bootleg white, still walks the fields at night, searching for her second sight, the promise, not the fright. Bright and bootleg white, hold my heart, I'll hold it tight, 'cause even ghosts need candlelight. Bright and bootleg white, bright and bootleg white.
Amen. Good night. Mama kept a broom by the rocking chair, a coffee can of nails by the rail. Said life's just a porch you keep sweeping clear, so the small things don't tip the scale. I was a boy with a busted slingshot, pockets full of gravel and schemes, counting the trucks on the county road, building a life out of dreams. Daddy came home with his sleeves rolled low, paycheck folded thin, grease on his knuckles and hope in his grin. Said, son, that's where men begin. We measured summers by barn loft dust and the ring of a dinner bell. First kiss tasted like peaches and dusk, and secrets we'd never tell. Gravel on the front porch step, crunching under truth and lies. Every stone a memory kept, every sunrise a second try. If the world blows hard and mean, let it howl and let it sweat. We'll stand tall in denim and stain, with gravel on the front porch step. I left one fall like a traveling storm, chasing neon down the line. Found out the city shines like chrome, but it tarnishes over time. I call back home from a laundromat, quarters crowding up my hand. Mama said, baby, you know the map, just follow your boot prints home to the land. I came back broke with a sideways smile, a box of worn out blues. Daddy laughed low, took you a while, but the dust here fits your shoes. We fixed the fence where the posts leaned down, we tarred the leaky roof, and every night that gravel sang like a choir of honest proof. Gravel on the front porch step, crunching under truth and lies. Every stone a memory kept, every sunrise a second try. If the world blows hard and mean, let it howl and let it sweat. We'll stand tall in denim and steam, with gravel on the front porch step. I married a girl with a Sunday smile and a Friday working hand. She says, let's keep love like a radio dial that finds the heart of the band. Now there's a track near the railing posts, chalk suns on weathered boards, little feet scatter pebbles and ghosts of everything we once ignored. We don't own much but a stubborn hope, a dog, and a second-hand set of dishes, dreams, and a two-room scope that fits just right when it's wet. Storms roll over the soybean sea, lightning stitching up the sky. We hold our breath till the thunder frees, then laugh when the clouds roll by. Gravel on the front porch step, crunching under truth and lies. Every stone a memory kept, every sunrise a second try. If the world blows hard and mean, let it howl and let it sweat. We'll stand tall in denim and sweat, with gravel on the front porch step. Maybe the good Lord's lessons land like grit between your teeth, teaching your tongue to learn the sand and find the song beneath. Maybe love ain't angel wings, it's footprints side by side. Two pairs fading into springs, then fresh again when dry. Gravel on the front porch step, hear it sing when evening falls. Every stone a vow we've kept, every nickname it calls. Let the wind ride what it will, we've got roots that won't forget. Home is where the silence fills, with gravel on the front porch step. Daylight bled. She wipes the bar with a rag that's thin, counts tips by the mason jar, says prayers in chrome and violin when the jukebox lights the dark. I'm a sinner in a pearl snap shirt, boots with a city scuff, carried a heart that learned to hurt and called that learning tough. She slid me a soda first, said, boy, your eyes look tired. Maybe the road you're on's rehearsed, but your soul ain't yet expired. Neon blessings at the Golden Spur, where the lost find less to fear. Raise a glass to what you were, and dance with what brought you here. Fiddle, saints, and slide guitar prayer, smoke and mercy gently blur. I got saved by midnight air. Neon blessings at the Golden Spur. The band struck up a two-step flame, still crying sweet and slow. Boot heels wrote a brand new name across that sawdust floor. She said, I don't judge a traveler's map, I just serve what soothes the ache. The good Lord meets you where you tap the brakes and on your stakes. There's a vet who leans on table 3, a widow at the door, a ranch hand fixing jealousy with laughter and one more. We're a congregation made of dents of callous bruise and scar, learning grace intense beneath the neon star. Neon blessings at the Golden Spur, where the lost find less to fear. Raise a glass to what you were, and dance with what brought you here. Fiddle, saints, and slide guitar prayer, smoke and mercy gently blur. I got saved by midnight air. Neon blessings at the Golden Spur. I told her of a woman gone, of letters burned to ash, of how my pride kept racing on until it hit and crashed. She poured me quiet, poured me light, said, son, you ain't alone. Some heal fast and some need nights where music builds a home. So we circled like old vinyl does, slow but sure and warm. I felt forgiveness lift the buzz and calm the thunderstorm. wood softer in my chest. And when she smiled, the future drummed, and I could finally rest. Neon blessings at the Golden Spur, where the lost find less to fear. Raise a glass to what you were, and dance with what brought you here. Fiddle saints and slide guitar prayer, smoke and mercy gently blur. I got saved by midnight air. Neon blessings at the Golden Spur. Some churches have a steeple bright, some pews of rural pine. Ours is blue and pink at night, with a jukebox as the shrine. Kneel on sawdust, say amen to his steel that bends the truth. Stand back up and learn again the holy steps of youth. Neon blessings at the Golden Spur, where a broken heart can mend. Raise a glass to who you were, and toast the chance to begin again. Fiddle saints and slide guitar prayer, let the mercy linger purr. I walk out lighter than the air. Neon blessings at the Golden Spur. Granddad's truck was a stubborn mule, paint the color of July dust. AM dial like a faded jewel that we learned to clean with trust. He'd park by rows where the cotton bowed, and the heat made the crows complain. Set that radio soft but proud, and the world came down like rain. We picked our hours by Shadow Lane, by the talk of distant trains, by hymns that gave our backs some strength, and jokes that eased the pain. Mama would wave from the farmhouse shade, tea like sunset gold, and I believed each song they played could mend a soul turned cold. Radio in a cotton field, turn it up against the sun. Let the fiddle be our shield, let the steel guitar run. If the sky won't share a breeze, let the music make one real. Every heartbreak finds its ease from a radio in a cotton field. I learned to love by static lines, by voices cracked and brave, by stories tucked in crooked rhymes about all folks couldn't say. One preacher said the world was mean, the DJ laughed and said, put on a track in E and lean, there's mercy in that thread. When I left home for factory smoke, for nights that felt too long, I kept a radio like a yoke to pull my heart along. A girl with thunder in her hair taught me city's double pace, but when she left me standing there, I tuned to a safer place. Radio in a cotton field, turn it up against the sun. Let the fiddle be our shield, let the steel guitar run. If the sky won't share a breeze, let the music make one real. Every heartbreak finds its ease from a radio in a cotton field. I came back home with a silent jaw, a suitcase full of great. Granddad gone and time's old law had carried him away, but that truck still coughed on summer's start, and the dial still lit up slow. I parked it where we'd parked our hearts and let the stations glow. Kids from town brought lemonade, Mama hummed along. Even the scarecrows looked remade when they heard a Conway song. We danced in boots on tractor ruts. The clouds forgot to frown. The cotton blooms grew moonlit guts and wouldn't settle down. Radio in a cotton field, turn it up against the sun. Let the fiddle be our shield, let the steel guitar run. If the sky won't share a breeze, let the music make one real. Every heartbreak finds its ease from a radio in a cotton field. Maybe the good old days ain't gone, they're sleeping in the loam, waiting for a simple song to call their spirits home. Turn the knob and close your eyes, let static turn to grace, and feel the miles between your sighs fall softly into place. Radio in a cotton field, bless this dirt and bless this sound. Let the chorus be our yield, let the chorus be our ground. When the harvest takes what's due, leave the melody revealed. I'll be right there holding you by radio in a cotton field. There's a light still hanging crooked on the old hay bin, dust like ghosts in a sepia dream. They boarded the windows when the band packed up, left half a bottle and a coffee cup. I used to sneak out here through the meadow lane, heart on my sleeve and perfume in the rain. Miller's barn was the county soul, where the young got brave and the old felt whole. I still see her in that cotton dress, hair like wheat, smile like a mess. She said, don't blink, the summer slide. Then we waltzed till the moon ran dry. The floorboards moan like an old steel tune. Our shadows melted into June, when the radio crooned that Conway song. I swore I'd love her my whole life long. Last dance at Miller's barn still spins in my heart like a slow alarm. Straw and starlight, boots and charm, we burn like lightning on Miller's farm. Now the dust don't rise and the lights don't warm, but I still sway to that old guitar, dreaming of her in my arms. The last dance at Miller's barn. Years rolled by like harvest rain. We both got caught in the grown-up chain. I left for work, she stayed for home. Letters dried where the wild seeds roam. They said she married in a chapel small, with Miller's boy who owned it all. I stood outside till the bells grew cold, watching dreams I couldn't hold. Now I'm older, hat brim bent, Whiskey gone and my wages spent. I drive by there each Friday night just to watch the stars ignite. The roof's caved in, but the echoes hum. Steel strings cry when the memories come. I take one step, then two, then three, still waltzing with what used to be. The last dance at Miller's barn still spins in my heart like a slow alarm. Straw and starlight, boots and charm, we burn like lightning on Miller's farm. Now the dust don't rise and the lights don't warm, but I still sway to that old guitar, dreaming of her in my arms. The last dance at Miller's barn. Some barns fall and some hearts mend. Some fires die but never end. I'd give this world, this weathered spine, to hear her whisper one last time. The last dance at Miller's barn still plays when the night gets calm. Straw and starlight, boots and charm, time can't kill that country song. When my soul takes its final turn, I'll meet her under that fading star, and we'll dance one last time at Miller's barn. Gas station flowers wrapped in Sunday news, blooming brave beneath the county blues. $2 roses, thorns and truth, bought 'em for the girl I was losing to youth. The payphone by the laundromat hums, static sings like a gospel drum. I dialed her number with a shaky thumb, praying love still knew where I was from. She answered soft, said, "Boy, you late." I said, "Honey, I just lost the freight." She laughed once slow, said, "That's your fate. You chase the dream and forget the game." The jukebox played a Merle Haggard tune. I could smell the rain and her perfume. Told her, "Wait up, I'll be there soon." But the roses wilted by the moon. $2 roses and a payphone ring, cheap perfume and an old heart sting. Promises die where the quarter clings to a name carved deep in a worn out string. If you can't buy love, you just keep trying, spending change on goodbye lines. $2 roses and a payphone ring still haunt this soul of mine.
She left town with a fairground band, ran off laughing, tambourine in hand. I stayed behind in the oil field sand, that don't understand. Every Friday I stop and stare at that phone booth standing bare. They tore it down last winter's glare. Now I talk to the wind when I need her there.
I bring new flowers still to a pack. Same gas station by the railroad track. The clerk just nods, no questions asked. Know some debts don't pay you back. I drive them out where the fair once sang, lay them down where our laughter rang. The roses fade, but the memory hangs like smoke in the breath of the train. $2 roses and a payphone ring, cheap perfume and an old heart sting. Promises die where the quarter clings to a name carved deep in a worn out string. If you can't buy love, you just keep trying, spending change on goodbye lines. $2 roses and a payphone ring still haunt this soul of mine. Some nights I swear that phone still hums, and I hear her voice when the diesel comes.
Boy, you should have stayed, but you love to roam.
I whisper back, darling, I'm almost home. $2 roses and a payphone ring, faith in bloom and a heartbreak sting. If heaven's cheap, then I'll still bring these faded blooms and a song to sing. Love don't cost much, but it takes its time, and I still wait by the county line. $2 roses and a payphone ring, forever call her mine. There's a hat on the hook by the pantry door, same one he wore in '74. Sweat-stained brim, weathered band, smells like hay and calloused hands. He'd tip it low when the preacher'd start, bow his head but grin with heart. Mama said that hat's his crown, he wears it when the world bears down. He taught me fence line, faith and grace, how to stare the sun dead in the face. Taught me pride ain't worth the pain if you can't forgive in the pouring rain. When he passed, they set it by the bed, folded flag and words unsaid. I took that Stetson dusting off, hung it proud in our cedar hall. Dust on Daddy's Stetson brim, but the light still burns in him. Every sweat mark, every sin, a map of where we've been. He rode through storms and steel gray dawn, left his soul where work gets done. Time moves on, but I hold on to the dust on Daddy's Stetson. I wear it now when the thunder rolls, feel his comb beneath my bones. Neighbors smile, say you look like him, and I nod though my eyes grow dim. I swear I hear him near the gate, saying, son, don't fear the weight. Men break easy when they fake the strong. Just sing your truth and move along. Sometimes I take it down at night, brush the brim neath porch light, but I never clean the dust away. That's the story time can't say. He'd laugh if he saw me tear. Boy, hats ain't for crying near, but every scar and leather worn feels like proof that love was born. Dust on Daddy's Stetson brim, but the light still burns in him. Every sweat mark, every sin, a map of where we've been. He rode through storms and steel gray dawn, left his soul where work gets done. Time moves on, but I hold on to the dust on Daddy's Stetson. When I take my final ride, lay me down where the grass is wide, hang that hat up by my side, so he knows his boy still tried. Dust on Daddy's Stetson brim, maybe one on mine for him. Every mile, every hymn, tied with love and dust within. He rode through storms and steel gray dawn. Now I carry what he's shone upon. Time moves on, but I hold on to the dust on Daddy's Stetson.